Hey, what's up, everybody? The market is on sale today, and I am buying the dip as we speak. The reason why is because, well, let's just look at ICP for a minute. By the way, this is not financial advice. This may not even be the low, but dollar cost averaging is the best strategy for me. And what I see here is a pretty much an impulse, right? We have a pullback, a three-wave pullback, and then we came down into accumulation. And then we broke out of that accumulation. And what's important is that the way we came down, we didn't just crash. No, we had a beautiful three-wave move to the downside, and we're back testing the top of this accumulation. Could it fail and go down? Yes. But that's part of the risk, right? I mean, that's the risk we take. Um, so we look at this wave structure here, and we can see a pretty nice looking three-wave pullback, right? And we back tested. And not only that, but if we go, let's go to the 4 hour for a minute. We have bullish divergence between the bottom of the A wave and the potential bottom of the C wave. I don't know if this is the bottom. We could go lower. We could go even lower than that, right? I mean, you just, there's no evidence that the low is in. We do kind of have five waves, one, two. I mean, it doesn't seem like it so much. One, two, three. Maybe we get a four, and then we flush down for five, and then we continue higher, something like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. Let's look a little bit closer here. So I did buy right in here, and I bought Filecoin, I bought a Theta, I bought a couple other ones. Just, taking a stab at it, seeing if it sticks. If it doesn't, that's okay. We can go lower. I'll just get a little bit more. Again, DCA is the best way. So yeah, that's Filecoin. I mean, that's ICP. It looks pretty good. Let's see here. If we use a trend-based fib extension, we go from here up to here. You see, we haven't quite made it to the 1-to-1, which is down here at $9. So we could still go down and meet this wave. But since this one was so big, I'm not so sure if we'll do that, right? But this is, for me, this is a bottoming process. So somewhere in this area, we need to hold the line. If we break below that area, then alt season's definitely going to be either non-existent or delayed massively. So we have to be very cautious in here. But the structure looks fine. I wanted to highlight a fractal that BCB shared earlier today. And I really like it, and I was thinking the same. And it looks really good. Basically, you come up here, right, and you kind of play around a little bit, and then you break out. Same thing here. You get up here, you play around a little bit, you break out. Then you slam all the way back down here. You back test, same exact thing, right? And then you come up, you make a double bottom. You come up, make a double bottom, hold support. That's exactly where we are now. And then what do? We continue higher. So let's see if we can hold here and continue higher. If we come down like this, we could still continue higher, just be more of that classical three-wave ABC shape we have here. So we'll see how that plays out. But I really like this fractal, and we'll keep an eye on it. So taking a look at Velo here, you could see we had basically a three-wave down. We had a three-wave move up, and we have a three-wave move down. Now, this could be 5. We don't know if it's an ABC or WXY. ABC is 535 or 3, or I'm sorry, 335 or 535. The middle is always 3. Just put it this way, WXY is 333. So this could be a WXY, or we could come up like this and hit the low, and that'll be an ABC. That's the difference. WXY, ABC. So we'll see how that plays in here. So yeah, I mean, we got really good looking wave structure, just not entirely convinced it's finished. You can see kind of we had a 1, 2, 3, kind of bottlenecked a little bit. We hit the low. I want to see a little bit of evidence in here before I add anything else. So we got time. There's no rush, you know. All right, let's look at Jupiter here. Jupiter definitely lost its love appeal. You know, it was looking really good as a 1 2 1 2, and it still kind of does. We got a 1 2 1 2 1 2, but this broke that low, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's okay because I still look at it as a diag, right? We have 1 2 3 4 5, and then we have A B C as an expanded flat. So here's your home base down in here, right? We came down, we're tagging it, so we want to hold support, and now we can look at it as a rise, crash, retrace. We came down for some reaccumulation, build a little base, and let's go. I mean, that's kind of how I'm thinking about it now. QNT. I mean, yeah, it looks to me like I want to say a 1 2 and then another 1 2, but that broke the low, so you really can't. So 1 A B C 2 1 2 3 4 5 3 1 2 3. Now we're getting 4. Let's get 5. We have a 3-wave shape, A B C. We're coming back down to the support area, so we want to start seeing, you know, Fed Powell. I told you guys there would be a lot of volatility, right? When Fed Powell speaks, that's, you know, sometimes we get big volatility, big volatile moves. But just because it happened in that moment doesn't mean it doesn't affect the whole run or anything like that. It's actually kind of a good thing. You know, you're cleansing the market, washing out all the bad money and sort of resetting the momentum, which is what you want to do. You want to reset it as best you can before you really start to take off, potentially take off, right? We may not. I believe we will based off all the evidence we've been discussing, but you know, this is the first time Fed Powell spoke knowing that Trump's going to be president. And you could tell he changed his tune, right? You could tell, like, oh yeah, everything was great, everything's cool, we're gonna, you know, everything's cool, and now Trump's gonna be president. Oh, you know, we might not, this is gonna be the last cut for a while, you know, inflation, and I'm not gonna get into all of that, but it's just kind of like funny how they changed their tune a little bit, knowing now that Trump's gonna be president. So that's probably why we saw that dip. But I think the dip will be eventually bought up, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I believe it will because Trump will be president. Remember, Trump became president right here, or he got elected right here. And look what we got. And then the Fed spoke, and then look what we got. But this move triumphs this move. This is an impulse. This is so far a correction. Now, if we wanted to look at this bearishly, then we would say, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have 3 down. This could easily come back up in 3 like this, and then we can get 3 or 5 back down, and it becomes a larger 3-wave move all the way into January. And then we go up. So it could be more complex than we believe, right? How do you know what the answer is? You don't, right? Nobody knows the future. We can say, we can give some ideas on how it would look, but it's all about tracking the wave and ruling out what it's not. So let's go to theta. Let's go to theta fuel actually. So what we see here is the same exact thing as what we see here on the 4-day chart. So you come up, come back down. You have a nice accumulation structure. You break out, you come back down, you back test, and then you continue on. Now, if you look at this, same thing here. You come up, you come down, you have an accumulation, you break out, you back test. You come up, you come down, you have accumulation, you come up, you back test. It's like a little miniature version of that. So, let's zoom in here. And what we could actually do, yeah, it's kind of tricky. But essentially what we have here is an ABC, obviously, but I'm trying to think how it would look. You see, when we came down, we had 3 up, or we had 3 up and we had 3 down. So if we come down a little bit more, we have 3 up, we get 3 down, and then maybe we start to shoot back up. You know what I mean? Something like that. Develop some kind of base. Or we could simply have 3 up, have 3 down, and then go. That's basically 2 ideas. Or the third idea, impulse, 3-way pullback, easy peasy, and then just continue. Let's all hope for the third one there, because that would be the most simple, right? Let's look at Filecoin here. You can see on the 30-minute, you start to see these wicks, right? You get like this little move down and wick, 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 wick. It's letting you know, hey, buyers are interested in this area, right? So yeah, the market's pretty much the same. They all have, an accumulation structure. They all have a breakout, and they're all getting a 3-way pullback. So this is, without a doubt, a 4th wave. Or on the larger scale, you can look at it, yeah, as a, like a, as a 1-2, and then we get 3, 4, and 5 later on, in that degree. So the daily chart, yeah, and then if we look here, see how we kind of go boom, we hit this area, hit the low, right? Same thing here. And then what do? We come up, we pull back right to this level. We come up, we pull back. And then what happens? Then you kind of come up and then you make a flat here. I mean, I'm just showing you what happened before. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could be something similar to that, some kind of flat here. And then we go up and take the high. And we kind of flag out in here like we did in here for Filecoin. Because you got a nice triple bottom here, right? So it's looking pretty decent. And you got resistance here, and you're cupping in, and you're starting to hopefully get another cup here. So yeah, let's look at the weekly chart. It's nothing really special. I mean, we're getting a pullback here. And here's the thing right here. I wanted to show you guys this. So you see this little zone right here? You see how we see the price? Actually, let me get my arrow. Right there. Okay. So you see that we came down, we consolidated, and you can even look left, and you got the same box here. You got it here, right? And what happened is we exploded to the upside, and we took it out. We sliced through it like it wasn't even there. So what's happening is we're coming back down, all the way back down to the support. So if I drag this out, right, we're literally right at the bottom here. So we're kind of oversold in a way, We should hold some support here. Now, you get FOMO, you get people running for the hills. They get scared, they sell, and a lot of times it overshoots the target, but it snaps back to reality. And that's why we get these wicks, right? The same area in here. There's a lot of confluence in this area. That's why we like to look at a lot of charts, right? So all of this is one big area. So you could see the price, we broke through it, right? And now we're starting to retest. Now we're at the literal bottom of this range here. And that ranges anywhere from 480, yeah, so about 470 to maybe 540 on the low end. And right now we're around 520, so 519, yeah. So let's see if we hold. All right, let's look at the good stuff. Let's look at Bitcoin, XRP, and Theta. Let's start with XRP. Okay. So we're on a 7. I don't think we're going to get to a 9. I think it's going to flip the count, which is okay. Let me actually... By the way, I just put a members video out yesterday if you wanted to go check that out. Basically talking about how to, the introduction into rotations. Yeah, if you wanted to go check that out, you just click where subscribe button is. You got to be subscribed first, and then just click join right in the same spot. And, maybe try it out for a month or two and see if it works. If it don't, no big deal. Just let me know what you guys think. But anyway, I think what we have here, you can see we have 20 bars here. This is a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, liquidity grab, breakout. Same thing here, rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, liquidity grab, and now we're attempting to break out. You notice we have 20 bars here. So that's the structure of how big this is. That is 40 months. This is 40 bars, which is 80 months. This structure is 80 months long. And we just had a massive pump back to the top of the range. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get going. It's not going to happen overnight. You could see this one here. We exploded. We actually closed above this high and this high. So here's the cool part about this. Actually, let me go to the monthly real quick and let me see something. Yeah, so we had no, we didn't get that yet, did we? No. So this is about to be history in the making here if we can do it. First of all, let me get rid of all of this. And what I'm going to do here is we got 12 days left for the monthly and the 2-month close. So we'll go to the 2-month. All right. And we got, did we got the 3-month? Let me see. We got obviously the 6-month candle, right? We got a lot of different candles closing here. Yeah, we got the 1-month, the 2-month, the 3-month, 4, 8, 12. No, I don't. And then we have the 6-month and we have the yearly. So December is a massive closing, you know, event where we have a lot of different candles closing. So just look at the 3-month candle, right? This is the quarterly candle. So we could see right here is the all-time high close, which comes in at about $2. So all we need to do by the end of this year, by the end of the month, is close above $2. If we could do that, we just had a quarterly, monthly, breakout. Same thing with the monthly, right? And then same thing with is the 2-month on here? I thought I had it on here. Yeah, same thing with the 2-month chart. So the 1-month, the 2-month, and the 3-month, the 6-month, and the yearly candle are all going to close at all-time highs. Not the literal all-time high, the close of the all-time high. This price, this close right here, is more important than this wick, which is the literal all-time high. This is the actual close of the all-time. So all we need to do is close above that line. That will confirm the bullish move, the bullish breakout. Then we can maybe chill out a little bit. Maybe we just start ripping to the upside. Remember, this structure is beautiful. This is not finished. I don't think it finished. It doesn't look finished to me. It looks like a beautiful W pattern that still needs more to go. It also looks like you got this cup and handle that's about to break out. You got the W again. And then you have your reaccumulation, right? And then you also have what? A running flat, A, B, C. You have this running flat here, this 3-wave move. And then you also have a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, go. So you have all of these things that are saying, hey, look at me. I'm really, really good looking here, And it's essentially the same thing here. So a lot of people are looking at this. A lot of people are seeing the same thing I'm seeing now. But remember, we were seeing this way back over here. And even further back before I even had this channel. But, what is that good? That doesn't do us any good. So, yeah, let's look at the small time frames now. So the larger time frames, everything looks great. On the smaller time frames, it needs a little bit of work. So that line there is the close. So as long as we stay above that, by the end of the month, we're good. So the daily's not really helpful. I mean, the daily looks to me like this. You got 3 down. This could be 3 like this. And then we get another 3, and then we go up. That's kind of how the daily looks. You could say that's already 3. So we get 3, and then we get 5. But it's just better if we kind of zoom in and look at this here. So when we zoom in, I'm going to take a bars pattern, this here. I'm going to put it right there. Just kind of look at it for a minute. Kind of the same length, about the same length. Yeah. So what we see here on XRP, again, we've been discussing this for a while now. We got our impulse. We got a 3-wave pullback, very bullish. We got a 3-wave move back to the upside, again, bullish. And now we're coming down 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we come down and hit 5. Somewhere down in here. Make a double bottom, just like that fractal we saw. And then continue. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm thinking here. Now, if we break this low, it's okay. It's just going to be a bigger move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Get way down here and then move up. So it's all going to be dependent on how this C wave works, how this wave here finishes. So we just don't really know right now. We could track it even smaller. And let me see here in the 30-minute. Yeah, it's a little bearish, to be honest. You know, it doesn't look... I mean, if this comes up like this, then you have a 3-wave move. So you come down, you get a 3-wave move, and then you take this move, and then you just match it here. So I'm waiting to see if we take this low out. Let's see if we take that low out. And then I would look at it as a 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come down for 5. So now let's look at this wave. We'll zoom into like the 5-minute. And we can see like let's see, is that the low? Yeah, that did okay. So we have 1, 2, got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, you got a nice diag there, right? Or you know, 7-wave crashing structure, really 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have any divergences though? I don't think so, because we haven't broken the low yet. But let me go up to the 12-hour. Okay, let me see. I'm just checking a look here. So on the 8-hour chart, I would like to see some hidden bull. So if this RSI can get down further and match up with this and just get a little bit lower, then we have this move up and this move sideways. That will be hidden bullish divergence. Or even if it breaks down, it would be even stronger. The RSI, I'm meaning. So, you know, let's see. It doesn't look finished to me, but if we start going sideways, then you know, it'll start looking a little better. So that's pretty much it for XRP. Let's look at Theta. Now Theta took the low, had a pretty big dump. So that's why I bought some. Same thing here. If you take a horizontal line, put it right there. See this right in here? And then you take another one right there. That's your range, right? And here, remember when we were breaking this range, I said, look, we sliced through that like it wasn't even there. And a lot of times you have to, you know, make up for it by coming back and refilling these trading profiles, these volume profiles, right? Before you go back up, something similar to there, right? It's got to confirm it. So we moved up, we broke this, and then we had a 3-wave move back down. So I'm actually looking at $1.90. If we can come down to $1.90 and hit this low here, I mean, I think that's what would make the most sense. So, because then it would, you know, it would hit that support. And then also, if we take a trend-based fib extension from here to here, that $1.90 comes in around the 786. You also have the 1-to-1 at $1.65, but I would actually put that 1-to-1 there. And that 1-to-1 would actually be $1.82. And right now we are already at the 786. Because this is a flat. So boom, boom, boom. Right? So it looks like we got a zigzag. Looks like we're getting more of a zigzag, right? Basically a classical shape. You know, boom, boom, boom. Now, how deep is this going to be? That's the tricky part. Um, on one face of it, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're pretty much done. Just about, you know. We got bullish divergence on the 30-minute from here to here, from here to there. Let's see if it holds. We can also look at this like, okay, we got 3 here, and then we got 1, 2, 3 there, and then we got 1, 2, 3 here. And this is 3, this is 3, and this is 5. So that would be the idea. And then the only other idea would be 1, 2, 3, we get 4, and then we get 5. And then go up. So those are the two ideas. So it either is going to finish somewhere in this vicinity, around that $2 area, or maybe go down to that 170, 190 area. We are oversold. Yeah, so we just crossed into that oversold, and we technically have bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which is a big deal. So from here to here and here to here. It's not very strong, but it is there. So, yeah. That's basically it. And then if we look at this as a fractal, so for example, you could see back in the day here, Bitcoin had this ABC, right? We were just looking at it earlier. So A, B, C, basically like a double bottom here, and then we continued higher. That's one reason I bought, right? I mean, to take a stab at it. So we look at it, it looks a little different. Obviously we broke the low, but you know, it is what it is. So the important thing is total 3, right? So if we go to total 3 here, total 3 actually broke the low too, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see. Maybe this fractal will play, maybe it won't. I would have liked to see the low hold, but it makes sense if it can close the day. If it can close the day, let me see. So if we can, yeah, if we can close the day around where we are here, that would be fine. Because technically, here's the wicks down here, right? So it's a little weird, right? The total 3s are a little different. So if I go back here, I think I just okay, there we go. So here's a good looking fractal. Let me take a screenshot of that. So we have Bitcoin, obviously, this move here, obviously, right? And then you have the same kind of move there. I mean, it looks pretty similar on the higher time frames. So we still have a higher low, still have a higher low. Right, on the smaller time frames, it looks a little different. But yeah, let's see if there's any substance here. You can see we sort of went sideways a little bit. So maybe we go sideways a little bit and then continue. We'll figure that out soon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you can see the smaller time frames. I mean, we're still dumping here. We're still starting to break the lows. I mean, it's not. Let's see how much further we got. To me, it doesn't look completely finished. I mean, on one hand, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. You know, this is Litecoin here, so definitely want to see the low get held in here, at least for a bounce. You know, if we start just capitulating, I mean, then there's something else wrong here. Right? But if we could just get a regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a little bit further. I don't want to see it get any lower than $94. I want to see it stay above that. So anyways, we'll see how the day progresses. Remember, not financial advice. Always use proper risk management. And at the end of the day, this is a three-wave move. So we have an impulse. We have a three-wave pullback, waiting for it to finish and waiting for it to reverse. I mean, so we're definitely in the thick of it. And we got to wait for a sign of recovery. So we'll see. All right, that'll do it. I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.